I'm just going to start by saying a couple of, I'm just going to look at this for reference, not read off of it. I've had a wow moment this last month. It wasn't a wow that was great, it was wow what happened to me. And it's not all bad, I want to tell you. I want to take you down some roads of my life and how I got to this point. But I want to let you hear from me just how this went down, and just very briefly, not go into details. But on Monday, the 24th of January, I go to work. Everything's fine, no problems in my life. I've been doing a job for 24 years. That afternoon, I got a call from the Republican chair, Jonathan Newman, asking me what the election commission meeting the county judge was calling was about. And I said, I don't know. I said, because the election commission meets for two purposes: to hire my position and to initiate termination. That's been proven by AG opinions, by Texas Election Code, and Secretary of State. So I know very clearly what that is. Now I'm thinking that it was just a mistake. New county judge is just trying to get to know the different boards that he sits on, or he thought it was the elections board. So I didn't pay much attention to it. I go to Commissioner's Court the next day. People were starting to talk because some emails were circulating. The media was starting to ask questions. I'm still thinking everything's fine. I go to my office, and my assistant told me, Tony Pippin's told me that she heard from Daphne Fain that they are targeting my position for termination. I'm assuming county judge, and Commissioner Price is what I'm assuming at that point. So now I'm not feeling real good. My 24-year job doesn't seem to be very secure right then. I go home, I talk to Kelly, we just kind of look at things. I want you to know, I know that working in a job like this for 24 years, that's a pretty long time. It's a politically charged job. Governments change, powers change, political shifts change. I've always known that there would be a day or a time, and I thought I would always know it when it was time for me to step down. It wasn't a shock that that might be the case at all. But I wake up the next morning, open the newspaper, and then I read public comments that the county judge made to the media. This election commission meeting was going to be a 5-minute meeting. And anybody could vote for whomever they want to, the 5 members. And I wasn't invited. To this day, I've still not had a conversation with anybody about that election commission meeting except Jonathan Newman when he called me that day. Darlene, I know because we indirectly communicated through people, but I knew what the situation was then. Called Commissioner Price, known him for over 30 years. When Brittany was born, he bought her a little dress, a baby dress. That's how far and how long I've known John Wiley Price. Passed resolutions for me in 2008 for the department. Said I'd put him up against any election official in this nation back in 2002. That's the guy I called to ask to talk to. I go in his office, and he makes it very clear to me, very clear, he wants to be gone, that he wants to make a change. And that the county judge also felt the same way. I'm not going to give you all the details, they're in the paper. If you want to go back and read, you can. But I will tell you this, I left that office that day knowing that it was time. Just like Kenny Rogers says, there's a time to hold them and there's a time to fold them. 24-year elections administrator, 35-year county employee. I have retirement, don't feel sorry for me. I don't know if I have enough retirement pay for his law school. But I have a good retirement. It wasn't that. I worked 5 years longer than I needed to because I could have worked 20 years in this job. I loved this job and it meant the world to me. But I also know that things change. And when that change comes, then you need to just be ready for that change and accept it. And that's what I did. I accepted it. I turned in my resignation. I didn't want to work for a government body, especially a county judge and a commissioner, the most powerful guy that I deal with. If anybody here works in county government, you know what I'm talking about. You got to get up and brief things. You got to get things passed through the Commissioner's Court. I didn't know where Commissioner Garcia was at the time on this matter. And by the way, I thought I could win a battle because the one person that stood up every single time was Darlene Ewing. She stood for principle. I will respect her for the rest of my life. For against all odds, she stood up and just said, I don't have a reason to get rid of Bruce. Price told me in that meeting, he said, we're making phone calls to Darlene, or they're making phone calls to Darlene. That meant that there were 3 votes, they just needed 1 vote. So I could have sprayed by with them having one less vote than they needed. And I could have maybe won Friday, but lost the war because it was just a matter of time. And I wanted to go out on my terms. I wanted to go out the way I wanted to go out. And that's what I ended up doing. I did that. I don't regret it. And I'll tell you right now, and I've said this in the media, I haven't done a single TV interview. I haven't done a single radio interview since all this began. I have given my side of the story to the newspaper because I have to give my side of the story. I'm not going out without y'all knowing what happened. And I've told the truth. That's what I've always tried to do. And it was so unnecessary, I'm telling you right now. Because all anybody had to do was come to me and just say, we're ready for a change. You've been there 24 years, Bruce. We want to make a change. And that would have been fine with me. What the public and what the media can't stand is spinning the truth or trying to say it was a performance review. Let me tell y'all, performance reviews have always been done by Commissioner's Court. Every year, I'm accountable to Commissioner's Court. My budget's accountable. If there's ever been an election problem, I've had to brief the Commissioner's Court. I've had to tell them what the reconciliation is going to be. There are executive committee meetings that are held and after Commissioner's Court if they have personnel problems with a department head. This has never been about a performance review. That Friday afternoon, the week before Super Bowl meeting that was going to take 5 minutes that I wasn't invited to let anybody choose who they wanted to, was to terminate me. And that's plain and simple. And if people just would tell the truth about that one thing, I think this would all die down. I'd go on and plan weddings and stuff. And I want to tell you one thing. I really want you to hear this from me. I know there's some political posturing right now. Maybe this is being carried forward for political reasons by some folks. But I want you to know something very clear. That first day I resigned, and from then for at least a week, every person I saw were people I have worked with for 25 years of my life. Democrats, Republicans, Tea Party, you name it. Atheists, God-fearing, you name it. Because I'll tell you what, it was not about me. It was about what seemed to be a process that wasn't broken that needed to be fixed. It seemed to be a situation where some people just, for all the years of a relationship, just felt they wanted to stand up and say something. And I am honored and I am blessed just to know that about the situation. So I'm not carrying this forward. I'm not trying to promote people to go down and testify. I'm not doing anything. I'm not responding on Facebook. I'm not doing anything. But I am so overwhelmed and so moved by support that I've received all these years.